Hello everyone, I'm so glad you could join me today. In this video, we're going to dive into a topic that many of us have likely experienced but may not have discussed openly: the subtle tensions that can arise in our relationships as we grow older. Aging is a journey filled with unique challenges and bittersweet moments, and one of the more surprising aspects is how the dynamics of our relationships can shift over time. As we reach certain milestones, it's natural to reflect on our lives, our connections, and the ways in which others perceive us. You might have noticed that some people seem to treat you differently, sometimes positively, but other times not so much. Today, we'll explore 9 reasons why people might secretly harbor negative feelings towards you as you age. These feelings can stem from jealousy, misunderstandings, or even generational differences. So, grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's embark on this journey together. I encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's connect and learn from one another as we navigate the complexities of growing older. Stay tuned for the insights ahead. Let's start with the first reason: jealousy and misunderstandings. As we age, it's common to notice subtle changes in how people react to us. Sometimes a friend seems distant, or a family member makes a comment that feels off. These reactions often stem from their own insecurities rather than anything you've done wrong. For instance, if you've achieved a certain level of stability or happiness, it can inadvertently remind others of what they feel they're lacking in their own lives. Research in psychology shows that envy can arise when individuals compare themselves to others who seem to have what they desire. This feeling can lead to negative emotions, which may manifest as coldness or withdrawal. It's essential to remember that their feelings are about their own journey, not yours. You shouldn't feel compelled to downplay your achievements to make others comfortable. Instead, practice compassion while remaining true to yourself. When you sense that tension, take a moment to ground yourself and protect your peace. Remember, understanding where these feelings come from can help you navigate your relationships with grace. What are your thoughts on this? I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments. Now, let's move on to the second reason: misunderstandings in communication. As we grow older, we often find that the way we communicate with others, especially younger generations, can lead to unexpected conflicts. You might share a piece of advice from your own life, thinking it's helpful, only to have it interpreted as criticism or outdated thinking. This generational gap in communication styles can be quite frustrating. For example, what once seemed like straightforward advice may come across as harsh or irrelevant to someone raised in a different cultural or social context. Studies show that effective communication often requires an understanding of these differences. To bridge this gap, it's essential to slow down and take the time to listen. Instead of jumping in with your perspective, try asking open-ended questions like, "What do you think about this?" or "Can you tell me more about your viewpoint?" This approach not only fosters a more meaningful dialogue, but also shows that you value their perspective. When misunderstandings arise, don't hesitate to clarify your intentions. Saying something like, "I didn't mean it that way, let me explain," can open the door to a more constructive conversation. Have you experienced this in your interactions? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's explore the third reason: differences in values and beliefs. As we age, we often discover that our values may not align with those of the younger generations around us. This divergence can create misunderstandings and feelings of disconnect. For instance, while older generations may prioritize hard work, discipline, and a structured approach to life, younger individuals might value flexibility, creativity, and work-life balance. This clash of values isn't about right or wrong. It's simply a reflection of how different experiences shape perspectives. Research has shown that these differences can lead to tensions in family dynamics and friendships. When younger people perceive older viewpoints as outdated, it can feel dismissive, while older individuals may wonder why their hard-earned lessons aren't valued. To navigate these differences, it's vital to engage in open and respectful dialogue. Instead of insisting on your perspective, try asking questions like, What influenced your beliefs? Or how do you see things differently? Sharing your experiences without pushing your views can foster mutual understanding. This approach encourages connection rather than conflict. Have you encountered these differences in your relationships? I'd love to hear your stories in the comments. Now, let's discuss the fourth reason: rumors and gossip. As we grow older, we often find ourselves more affected by the whispers and assumptions that circulate within our social circles. Whether it's among friends, family, or in our communities, a small comment can quickly escalate into a full-blown rumor, sometimes even misrepresenting who we are or what we stand for. For instance, you might hear someone make assumptions about your lifestyle or decisions based on incomplete information. Research indicates that gossip can stem from insecurities or boredom, and unfortunately, it often targets those who are most vulnerable. Initially, it's tempting to react defensively, maybe even to confront everyone involved to set the record straight. However, responding in this way can often fuel the fire further. Instead, I've learned that the best response is often no response. By staying true to yourself and focusing on your actions, you allow the truth to shine through over time. If a rumor is particularly damaging, it's okay to address it calmly with those involved or someone you trust. The key is to protect your peace and not let others' words define your worth. Have you ever faced a rumor? I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments. Now let's move on to the fifth reason: insecurities and emotional reflection. As we age, it's common to notice that some people's reactions to us are less about who we are and more about what they are going through internally. Often, when someone makes a sharp comment or seems distant, it's a reflection of their own struggles rather than any fault of ours. For example, if you've found a sense of stability or have overcome significant challenges, those achievements can inadvertently trigger feelings of inadequacy in others. They may project their insecurities onto you, leading to negative interactions. Research in psychology highlights that this projection is a defense mechanism as individuals grapple with their own feelings of self-doubt and failure. Recognizing this pattern can help us respond with empathy rather than frustration. When faced with negative behavior, take a moment to pause and ask yourself, is this truly about me or is it something they are dealing with? Understanding that their feelings stem from their journey allows you to protect your own peace while maintaining compassion. Have you experienced reactions that felt more about others than yourself? I'd love to hear your insights and stories in the comments. Now, let's dive into the sixth reason: lack of empathy and understanding. One of the more challenging aspects of aging is realizing how often others may misunderstand what you're going through, whether it's the physical challenges of getting older, emotional shifts, or simply the pace at which you navigate life. Unfortunately, not everyone takes the time to understand these changes. For instance, when moving a bit slower or needing more time to make decisions, others might perceive this as hesitation or inefficiency rather than a natural adaptation to aging. Research shows that younger generations, often caught up in their fast-paced lives, may overlook the wisdom and experience that inform your choices. This can leave you feeling unseen or dismissed. To combat this, it's crucial to communicate openly about your experiences. Instead of feeling hurt or frustrated, try explaining your perspective. I know this may seem slow to you, but here's why I approach it this way. While not everyone will understand, focusing on relationships that value your experiences can make all the difference. Have you ever felt misunderstood in your aging process? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Now, let's explore the seventh reason: competition and silent rivalry. You might think that as we grow older, the sense of rivalry and comparison would fade away, but often it just takes on a different form. Subtle feelings of competition can arise in various relationships, whether it's with friends, family, or colleagues. For example, you may notice a sibling envying your close relationship with your children, or a friend comparing their health and vitality to yours. This kind of rivalry is often rooted in insecurity. When people feel they're falling short in some area of their lives, they may look to others as a benchmark. Research indicates that these feelings can create tension in relationships, even among those who genuinely care for one another. Navigating these dynamics requires a balance of self-acceptance and empathy. Celebrate your successes without guilt, as you've earned them. At the same time, extend kindness and support to those who might be struggling with their own feelings of inadequacy. A compliment or a moment of connection can go a long way. Have you experienced these subtle rivalries in your relationships? I'd love to hear your stories in the comments. Now, let's discuss the 8th reason. Societal expectations. As we age, we often find ourselves confronting unspoken rules about how we're supposed to live. Society sets these expectations regarding what to wear, how to behave, and even what dreams are appropriate at certain ages. When you decide to break free from these norms, you might find that others react with discomfort or criticism. For instance, if you pursue a new passion or embark on an unexpected adventure, you may hear comments like, "Isn't it a bit late for that?" or "Why are you doing this at your age?" These reactions stem from their own limitations and fears as your choices challenge their views on aging and success. Research shows that individuals often project their insecurities onto others, especially when they see someone living authentically. It's important to remember that living according to your own values and desires is your right. When faced with judgment, respond with patience and share how your choices bring you joy. By doing this, you might inspire others to reconsider their own limits and embrace their passions. Have you ever felt pressured by societal expectations? I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments. Finally, let's talk about the 9th reason, the feeling of being forgotten. One of the more challenging aspects of aging is the sense that your contributions and experiences are being overlooked. After decades of building relationships, making sacrifices, and sharing your wisdom, it can be disheartening to feel invisible in social circles, especially as family members become preoccupied with their own lives. For example, you might notice that your children are busy with their careers and families, and the recognition for your hard work as a parent seems to fade into the background. Research shows that this feeling of neglect can lead to a decline in self-esteem and increased feelings of loneliness among older adults. However, it's crucial to understand that recognition doesn't always have to come from others. The most meaningful validation often comes from within. Take time to reflect on your impact, consider the lives you've touched, the challenges you've overcome, and the love you've shared. Open communication can also help. If you feel overlooked, gently express this to your loved ones. Have you ever felt forgotten in your relationships? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments. As we wrap up our discussion today, let's take a moment to reflect on the insights we've shared regarding the complexities of aging and relationships. We've explored 9 significant reasons why people might harbor negative feelings toward you as you grow older, from jealousy and misunderstandings to societal expectations and the feeling of being forgotten. Each of these reasons highlights the diverse challenges we face as we navigate our interactions with others. It's essential to remember that these feelings are often rooted in the experiences and insecurities of those around us, rather than being a reflection of our worth. Understanding this can help us approach our relationships with compassion and empathy, allowing us to maintain our peace and foster deeper connections. I encourage you to keep these insights in mind as you continue your journey through life. Engaging in open dialogue and sharing your experiences can help bridge gaps and create understanding among generations. Thank you for joining me today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the topics we've discussed and any experiences you'd like to share. Be sure to leave a comment and stay tuned for more conversations in the future.